Greetings and shalom. I'm Adrian Scott, and I welcome you to Truth and Testimony, the broadcast. This is going to be a little bit of a different video. It's kind of halfway update, halfway shekels for your thoughts. So let me start with kind of the shekels portion of it. Now, I actually had a conversation with Ray recently. We're talking about this a little bit, and that's sort of what prompted me into making this video. But one of the things that I have struggled with as of late has been, and I hesitate to even say this because I'm really not looking for glory or credit in doing any of this stuff, but when it can just start to feel a little bit like it's just falling on deaf ears and it's going nowhere and it's not a benefit to anybody. Especially considering the fact that I'm not the most comfortable person on camera, and I'm putting myself out there to do this stuff, and to feel like it's for no purpose can be a little disheartening. So that's why Ray shared with me a recent email from one of our subscribers. Much more than that, I would really call them a great friend of the channel. And this gal, this incredible lady, sent this email, and basically, well, some of what she was kind of saying in there is, now this is somebody that has some health issues going on, and there's a lot of challenges for her, not just with her health, but with circumstances and events around her. This is somebody who could so easily be bitter and resentful, and it would be an easy pit to fall into. Yet she has struggled, maybe, but she has maintained her faith, and she has really pushed into a relationship with the Father. And I think that's probably the most important thing. It's not about being perfect. It's not about being anything, not being excellent or perfect at doing it. It is about the desire to do it and walking that desire out to the best of your ability. And that's kind of the impression that I get from this individual. But she was sharing with us that we're probably amongst her favorite, if not in fact her favorite YouTube channel or channels, and that she is always excited every time those notifications come up from our channel that something is out there, and is one of the first people to check it out. And I have to say, I have noted that after getting a video up, generally there's about 2 or 3 views right out of the gates. Well, now I'm pretty sure I know who one of those is, and I just have to thank you so sincerely. But even more than watching the videos, I wanted you to know how much that email that you sent and the comments that you made meant to me and Ray. We were both discussing it. Just it takes all of that feeling of you feel like it's falling on deaf ears and just tosses it out the window, and it makes everything we're doing worthwhile. That alone, that's all we're looking to do. If we can help someone like yourself through stuff like that, it is, well, it's a benefit to you, but it's maybe even more so a benefit to us. And that really is what motivates us to keep doing what we're doing. And again, I just truly, sincerely thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I know Ray does as well. So yeah, that's kind of the shekels, is that idea of, because I think this all kind of, well, I can't say it started, but it maybe came to a climax with a conversation that Ray had on his video about wandering through the desert. When you feel like you're just kind of lost and alone and you're struggling to find direction, and it's that effect of wandering through the wilderness. And that is, I think, a good percentage of believers have been there at one time or another, or are there now. And I know I've been there, and maybe a little bit of that right now, actually. That's part of that effect that I've been going through. So it's a very real thing. It doesn't disqualify your faith or make you a weak believer or anything like that, I don't think. And but that kind of came up, and that's what got this going, and I guess she decided to send that email off, and well timed. well timed, and very much appreciated. So if you're in that same boat, I guess, where you feel like you're kind of wandering through the wilderness and you're struggling with where you're supposed to go, what you're supposed to do, I wanted to encourage you all by pointing out and reminding you, it doesn't mean that your faith is broken. It doesn't make you a weak believer. It doesn't do any of that thing. You got to remember the world we're living in. It's about as godless as it has ever been. And anyone that's got a conscience, anyone that believes this stuff, it's going to weigh you down. It's going to weigh real heavy. And I don't think, feeling staggered back by that is any kind of a show of weakness. As a matter of fact, I may contend that it's actually a show of strength. Because wouldn't it be easier in so many ways to just succumb and give in to the ways of the world and drift away from God? And it would be a lot easier and a lot less painful in the short term. But it's not the short term we're thinking about, is it? So there's kind of the shekels. Now I will transition more into the updates here. So one thing that has been going on recently is I have gotten a new computer. That's all finalized. I've had to install software, configure everything, reset all my camera gear and all that stuff to have it all, the microphones in particular, to have it all functioning properly and doing what it's supposed to be doing. That is all done. So there's no more time taken up with that. And also with my Journey Through the Psalms videos, as well as Bible Break, one of the things that I do in both of those series of videos is I do try to put the scripture up on screen in text. And I have had an issue. I've heard a couple of comments about being difficult to read, things like that. So I have worked with a couple of different setups to change the font and the background color and the different effects and stuff. And I'm happy to report that from some key people, I've heard the last couple of videos, each of the Bible Break and the Journey Through the Psalms, pretty much seems to have got it. They said, yep, can read it great. We're thinking about smaller things like seeing it on cell phones and whatnot to make it more legible. That I seem to have hit the right combination to make it work. And so no more playing around with that. I should be able to just kind of start rolling on that one and not have to worry about all the little settings as I'm going along. So you'll get more of that stuff coming up. I have actively been working on a small series of Did You Know shorts. So those will be happening pretty quick. I've actually got them recorded. So I just need to do my last little bit of editing with all that stuff. I have also been working on my next video in my Hebrew Roots 101 series. Where I'm covering the 7 feasts of the Lord, the appointed feasts of the Lord. And this one is on the 4th feast, which would be the last of the spring feasts, called Shavuot, or the Feast of Weeks. So that is going to be happening fairly soon. After that, we'll have the 3 more videos, which are the 3 fall feasts. And so you can look forward to all of those. They'll be coming up. They're in... I'll call them pre-production at this point. And a couple of other things that I'm working on. I am also still really set 2025. I want to make the year that I'm going to do a lot of traveling around my home on the island that I live on. There is some breathtaking areas of scenery, and I want to go with my camera and with my drone and take some amazing scenery footage and apply that stuff into these Journey Through the Psalms videos, as well as they may make a few backgrounds for some other stuff as well. But I want to build up that collection and have some really nice scenery for you all. So you can look forward to that as well. I'm excited to go and do it. And I'm just looking forward to getting some great material. So I guess that's kind of the updates there. I suppose I'll wrap it up there. I've always liked to say, if you did like the video, please give it a thumbs up, share with others. We are trying to spread this around. And if you have not done so, subscribe to the channel. I would like to take the opportunity real quick. I do this every once in a while. As a reminder, if you are subscribing to the channel, or even if you've already subscribed to the channel, but you have not changed the bell, it defaults to something called personalized, at least on YouTube. And you can change that to all, just so that there are times when you may not be notified to everything we're putting out. And if you put it to all, you'll get all notifications for everything that Ray and I upload to Truth and Testimony, the broadcast. As well, if you are subscribed to Ray's other channel, Life on the Road with Yeshua, you can do the same thing there so that you're not missing any of those uploads either. So there's that one. Now, in terms of Rumble, I'm not exactly sure how it works there, if it has the same kind of stages of notifications. If it does, I would encourage the same thing there. One of the little jobs I need to do is really sit down and make myself a little more familiar with Rumble. We are also, because Ray is in the dynamic, or he's in the situation that he's in, being in all these different places, and he can have hit or miss internet access, and it's not always the greatest, and he's got to wait for the opportunities when he can get stuff uploaded. It's hard enough for him to do that, and then to do it to two separate platforms. So at the moment, all you nice folks on Rumble that are watching are only seeing me. There is another half of the equation. I think there's a couple of videos where you see Ray and I together, but we're working on some fixes there. We're hoping some circumstances will change sooner rather than later. But in the meantime, I know it is predominantly me that is posting material on Rumble. We want to make more use of that platform. For everyone that is on Rumble watching this, I appreciate your feedback as well. So I hope you're being blessed by these videos, and there will be more coming. And if we can get those things figured out, or our situation changes a bit, that you'll be seeing some more of my fellow brother here in Christ, Ray, and the fun stuff that we do. Now, there is some fun stuff coming up as well. We're toying around with a couple of new ideas for a few new segments. One of them, I think, specifically for On the Lighter Side, that part of our site. Now, that's something that we'll work on getting over on Rumble. In the meantime, if you are on Rumble and you're missing some of that other stuff, you can check it out on YouTube. Eventually, the goal is to have everything on both platforms. Now, not everything we do is always conducive to Podbean, but I know we do also have Podbean as well, and but that's only good for really the audio stuff. So, and we're talking about having some additional stuff available for that platform as well. So we've got Podbean podcast, we've got Rumble, we've got YouTube, we've got lots of stuff going on, and there's more to come. So again, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, share it with others, subscribe if you have not done so, hit the bell notification. I wish blessings to all of you in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus our Messiah, and I say Shavua Tov. Have a great week, Shalom, and bye for now.